By the way, call me Wu. You can check the pronunciation and the spelling in the English dictionary. And Post Aviation was known as CLAS, KL Airport Services. For those who have known us since 1998, we were established in 95. We are a small company. We are independent ground handler. We are based at 8 airports in Malaysia. Now, we started this journey in 2011. We decided then to create and transform Post Aviation. In 2013, we acquired a logistic company with about 200 prime movers, 2,000 trailers. In 2015, we acquired an aircraft operator with 2 737-400 freighters. And subsequently, in 2016, September, the entire group was injected into the National Post Office of Malaysia. Why did we do that? Well, what you see here is that with the 4 elements, we have the post office providing last mile. We have aviation providing the cargo terminal operations and access to the freighter airlines and also the other passenger airlines. We also have 2 737-400 freighters that we can create an ASEAN network with. And we have logistics. The road service connecting air and sea. So as a result, in 2016 September, this is what we offer to the world. A total logistics solution. Yeah, from the first mile all the way to the last mile. End-to-end solution. Obviously, for the last mile distribution, it will be in Malaysia, but we have partners throughout ASEAN that we are able to then provide this end-to-end solution. As I mentioned that we are traditionally a ground handler. As I said, we have 2,500 staff, 8 airports throughout Malaysia, and e-commerce is the new revenue stream for us. What you see here is that cargo contributes substantially to our revenue and bottom line. And why we are putting emphasis on this is because we see that the future will be in e-commerce. At the same time, since cargo is our main contribution, definitely we need to make sure that we do it right and we do it good. And one of the ways is to adapt and adopt technology. So what is really the market? You see this chart a lot. May not make a lot of sense sometimes. It's all forecast. Numbers may not come true. But definitely in the Asia Pacific region, there is growth and it will continue to grow. And I think we look at the various inter-region movements. One important thing is that we are in the middle of ASEAN. ASEAN has 600 million people. To the west, we have South Asia, 1.2 billion plus plus. To the east and north, we have China, 1.4 billion plus plus. And China has just announced the 2-child policy, and they expect 400 million babies next year. What do babies have to do with us? Babies have to eat. Babies have to drink milk. China needs all the perishables that you can produce. Yeah? And we are in the middle of these 2 regions, and I want to use this analogy that Europe uses. There's a region in Europe that stretches, I think, from UK to Belgium and down into Germany and France, and they call it the golden banana. So the golden banana is stretching from China through ASEAN into South Asia. However, for ASEAN, and you look at Malaysia, our cargo growth in the traditional market has only grown 2%. That's not quite good enough. Of course, you look at the emerging markets, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, they are the manufacturing industries, they are the FMCG industries, they're still enjoying healthy double-digit growth. But where is the next market coming from? So therefore, when we look at this, we see that basically, if you look at the general cargo market, it's going to be flat. There is growth, but modest growth. The next hope for us, e-commerce. Worldwide is about 10% growth in the international parcels. Of course, Express has always been there. And relevant to national post offices, mail is declining. Yeah, nobody sends letters nowadays. Everything is electronic. So cross-border e-commerce is the next frontier, if you like. That's where we want to be. And that's where the growth is going to help us grow. Well, these are numbers. Yeah? ASEAN, 64.8 billion. If you take 15% of that as the logistic cost in the total trade, that's about 9 billion US dollars. If you take 15% of that as your air freight revenue, 1.92 billion US dollars. That is the market size we see over the next 4 years, a growth of 71%. But this e-commerce needs a different business model. We cannot use the traditional method. And we need fast and strategic logistics. Yeah. In fact, yesterday it was announced that JD.com has established a dedicated freighter with Tianjin Cargo. Everyone is moving into the e-commerce space. Of course, you have a list of airlines there, what they have done, and of course, what the marketplace has done. So what are we doing about it? Well, let's get the basics right first before we talk about e-commerce. Yeah? We have grown, and the terminal that is designed for 150,000 is now handling 231,000 and expected to handle by April next year 251,000 tons. Small, but we are over capacity, overutilized. So we have issues because that presents a problem to us. So these are the typical issues that we have. We have mishandling. We are not meeting SLA targets. Of course, we need to have specialized facilities to handle e-commerce. We don't have the space for it. And service quality is affected. So we need to fix the basics first. So what we have done is, of course, we have put in equipment, we have put in racking, we have mechanized certain parts of the business, we have put in some systems, and we have improved the facility, adding X-ray machines, new release gates, some additional area dedicated for certain products. But all this is automation and mechanization. To support all these facilities and equipment upgrades, of course, we still need systems. And we have implemented iCargo. We started in September. We have cut over 17 airlines as of 1st of November, and the balance 7 airlines from the 1st of December, we will be fully operational on iCargo. I don't want to talk too much about iCargo, but I think by being here and seeing this group of people with such experience and knowledge, I think we made the right decision in implementing IBS iCargo. They didn't pay me for that statement. Maybe the drinks help, yeah. Now, there were some quick wins, yeah. We improved waiting time, reduced waiting time. We have reduced unlocated cargo because we are very manual. We have also improved on efficiency. We have improved on manpower utilization. End of the day, the cargo terminal is just a transit point. The more you push through per hour, the more tonnage you handle, the more money you make. And that's the idea. And iCargo has helped us with this quick win. Yeah? But once we have fixed this basic, what's next? Okay? Remember, we have always talked about e-commerce as our next frontier. That's where our business needs to go. So there are a few elements here for e-commerce to be successful. Now, again, I always say that we are lucky to be situated in the middle of the golden banana because in ASEAN, we have 600 million consumers. Market internet penetration is only 15 to 20%. Definitely that will increase. And when that increases, the volume will move. We need access to transport infrastructure. So we have prime movers, we have the land connection. The group also owns ports. And right now we are looking at establishing a multimodal movement. We have a shipping lane, 4-day marine express service from Malaysia to China, south of China. And basically e-commerce these days is about moving inventories. The big boys have used data analytics to forecast what the customer will buy, when they'll buy it, at what quantity. With that forecast, they move the inventory to a location like KLIA, where we operate a regional e-fulfillment distribution center for Lazada, and what was traditionally a 10-day delivery service becomes a next-day delivery service within ASEAN. So they have removed the inefficiency of the logistics out of China. As you know, 11/11 and Christmas is coming. That will present a big problem. Last year, there was cargo to be moved, but the cargo could not move. There were no planes. The space was taken. Plenty of planes in the desert, but you can't resurrect the aircraft in 1 month, and you use it for 3 months and put it back in the desert, doesn't work. So there is a capacity constraint. So the big boys are moving the inventory out, and KLIA is one of their regional distribution centers for Alibaba. We talk about skilled labor, but basically here the context is that we are also very lucky. We are a young company. 72% of our people are less than 35 years old. So thankfully, we don't have the same problems like Jessica has. No green screens, okay? Average age of experience, years of experience, 5 to 7 years. 50% of our staff have 5 to 7 years of experience. Yeah? The other part is adaptability and ability to adopt technology. These are all the Gen Y, Gen X people, and they are familiar with handphones, iPhones, and whatever phone you have. The other part is we spend about 1.6 million to train 101 of our senior executives and the heads of divisions, where we had a training program that does a pre-training assessment and a post-training assessment. And then they are given that analysis of where they are, what is their personality, where their weaknesses are, and where they can improve. And therefore, with this training, they then learn to make better decisions. And that's critical to any transformation that we want to do. Obviously, high-speed internet, smart warehouse technology, that's part of the Industry Revolution 4.0. And from that IR 4.0, there are top 5 technologies that we are looking at, not all relevant to cargo business. Some, because we are ground handlers, so we have passenger handling, we have engineering, we have in-flight catering. So e-commerce is one of the elements. But AI, machine learning, we talk about facial recognition in the cargo terminal, geofencing of people, blockchain, that's still a mystery to me. I was talking to Gautam yesterday. Blockchain is still a mystery to me. It's just a secure way, a traceable way of tracking what you do, I guess. Training services via digital platform. Yesterday, Michael mentioned something interesting. We are developing an e-business service platform. Because e-commerce is different from your general cargo. Those days, business to business, B2B, 20,000 items, one particular part number, and you bring it in. Now, customs have to deal with 20,000 items, 20,000 part numbers, quantity 1 to 20,000 addresses. So definitely you need technology, and we are building this eBSP to help us, and it's something akin to what Michael mentioned. It's really a cargo community system, but it connects the marketplace to logistic players, to freight forwarders, to airlines, and customs clearance agents. So when you buy something on a marketplace, you can see who are the logistic providers, who are the last mile service partners you can point, which airline you can buy the space on, which is the CTO that you go through. It's all on this service platform. We are building the first phase, which caters for the customs clearance portion. The second part, where the cargo community system plus comes in, will be first quarter of next year. 3D printing, not so relevant here, but imagine if you can print your own cargo pallet, right? Why do you need to buy? You just print whenever you need it. And of course, mobile applications. So I'm very encouraged by the fact that IBS is putting research and development efforts into creating mobile applications, and that's where we want to move to. Yeah. So what have we done? Well, there are various things we are doing, but 38% of our CAPEX is spent on IoT. We talk about geofencing, GPS location, improving customer-centric experience through the terminal. We talk about facial recognition, AI learning, basically to use AI to further improve our decision making. Yeah. Of course, you see I put iCargo there, so that's part of the initiative. We are operating the only, well, I was told by Jack Ma that we are operating the only digital free trade zone outside of China. Yeah. It's the e-commerce window that connects the ASEAN SMEs to the world and the world marketplace to ASEAN. You can see that it also enables them to collaborate and connect across borders. So trading on e-commerce, we have improved the process time from 6 hours to 3 hours, from aircraft landing to the product exiting the free commercial zone through use of electronic pre-alert manifest, which customs then just trace and they know which are the items that can be brought in without any further inspection. And that one-touch portal there mentions basically talking about the eBSP that we are developing to enable and connect the regulators to the business stakeholders. Yeah. There are a lot of benefits there, but to be realized. And what we have done is that on the right-hand side of this, there's a 60-acre logistic park that will be developed by Alibaba. We want to be there. We want to be next to them. So what you see at the top is the Aviation Cargo Terminal 2, which is currently the e-commerce logistic hub, but we'll move that next to the logistic park, the 60-acre park. And this is all within a free trade zone. So items can come in, no customs declaration yet, value add goes back out into ASEAN. So we are trying to connect ASEAN to the rest of the world. And right now, we are trying to connect South Asia to North Asia. What we term again, the golden banana. And that is the future for us and where we see our future to be. I was asked in Bangkok whether this e-commerce is just going to be a wave. Over there, the word slipped out naturally. I said it's a tsunami. The closer it comes to the beach, the faster it accelerates, the faster it goes. And the force and the power is tremendous. Either you hunker down and let it pass, but then you don't get anything from it. Or you plan ahead, think how you're going to tap that enormous power in that tsunami and harness the energy from it. That's the trick. I don't have the answer, but I think we're working towards it. And e-commerce tsunami is here to stay, and it will accelerate faster and faster. So either we embrace technology to harness that tsunami, so digitize or die. I want to leave you with one thought. E-commerce is always talked about in many ways, and it's hard to describe what it is, really. But I think the future of e-commerce is this. You are going into the jungle on a jungle trekking journey, solo, and suddenly you realize you forgot to bring your mosquito repellent. As you walk the first kilometer, suddenly you realize, oops, wedding anniversary tomorrow, and you're in the jungle. So you whip up your phone, you order your mosquito repellent to be dropped to you at this specific GPS location that evening. Then you order from Fat Duck in London your wife's favorite dish and have it delivered to the house tomorrow at 6 p.m. To me, that is the ultimate goal of e-commerce. So I leave you with that thought, and thank you very much for allowing us to share with you.